Welcome to another segment of ACRP TV. Today, our spotlight is on something very exciting and very important right now, Merck's diversity program. And we've got three of the right people to talk to about it. A couple of old friends we've spoken to before and a few new friends here in this segment. We're talking about some good stuff that Merck's up to. We've got Adrelia Allen, who's the Director of Clinical Trial Patient Diversity, Cameron Davis is CRA at Merck, and McKenzie Black is CTC at Merck. Thank you all so much for joining us and sharing this exciting program with us today on the program. Let's jump right in. Adrelia, let me talk to you because you're the lead on this. Maybe if you could talk about kind of the overarching diversity program and some of its goals. What are you all aiming to do here?
And Michael, again, thank you for having us and being able to share the work that Merck is doing in this space. Through our corporate and sponsor leadership, we've been able to bring on a team of 5 diversity program leads who are actually working to embed clinical trial diversity into how we execute clinical trials. And the beauty of this is that for each of these persons that's on the team, they are collaborating and working cross-functionally within our teams among the different therapeutic areas to ensure that we are addressing clinical trial diversity early on and at a point where we can plan and execute and really make a difference and enroll diverse patients in our clinical trials.
Well, it's really exciting because you're rolling up your sleeves. You're also getting at the root cause of some of this. This has been an issue that this industry has struggled with for so long. Cameron, I wonder if you could talk maybe about the CRA perspective and kind of what this means to you in this program.
Yeah, so from a CRA's perspective, I think increasing diversity in clinical trials, I think, is a shared responsibility between the sponsor and the site. I think from a CRA's perspective, CRAs are really the face of the sponsor, right? So we have a dynamic role, and it's not just through monitoring, but through driving conversation. I think CRAs are instrumental in driving the diversity discussions between the sponsor and the site throughout the entire life cycle of the clinical trial. CRAs can really enhance the discussion of patient diversity and inclusion with site staff by, helping the site review their diversity and recruitment strategies through out the study startup phase. I feel like CRAs can be really instrumental in site selection and gathering information on suggested tools and resources that the site may need. And then throughout the ongoing phase, CRAs can really help the site understand their enrollment metrics. Here at Merck, we do have a diversity dashboard that we use that CRAs can help share enrollment reports. And then, talking with the site, helping them gather information on any challenges or barriers that the site may have towards recruitment or retention. So I think through dialogue and ongoing conversations with site staff, CRAs can be really a driving force to increasing the inclusiveness in clinical trials just by bringing dialogue and awareness to the table.
I love how big picture and granular this is at the same time because it's so important. It's great. We talked before about raising awareness and education, and that's vital. But then we've got, I keep saying roll up the sleeves like mine. We've got to roll up our sleeves and do something. McKenzie, you and I have had a chance to talk before. We talked about your day in the life as a CTC, and that's where I learned more about this program. So thank you for that, first off. But talk about your role in all this and from your perspective, what this diversity program is all about.
Absolutely. So I think that kind of has 2 different answers, one as a CTC and then one again as the program coordinator, but they definitely do go hand in hand. So as a CTC, when you're working with these sites on a study, you actually get to communicate with the site very early on in the process because we get to play a part in the pre-validation activities. So as one of the first Merck team members that connects with the site, we get a chance to kind of communicate with them and feel out, what kind of site they are, the PI, all that kind of stuff. And this goes hand in hand again with the diversity dashboard that Cameron mentioned. This tool is going to be really helpful in understanding the site in a historical sense on their performance in past enrollment for past studies. So very early on now with the diversity dashboard, CTCs will get a chance to see how the sites have enrolled in the past. And again, as the program coordinator, I spend a lot of time in the diversity dashboard looking at both cite historical data, how therapeutic areas are performing, and from there we'll be able to compare, if you're a CTC on this one study, how are other studies in your therapeutic area performing? And it can really influence how we go forward in pre-validation and validation activities all the way up to site selection. So I'm really looking forward to see how this new program and the diversity dashboard we have influences the way CTCs interact with sites very early on in study startup.
Fantastic. To paraphrase Neil Armstrong, this sounds like a giant leap forward. It's very exciting. Adrelia, I want to give you the last word. I want to ask you, you and I have been in this industry quite a long time. This has been an ongoing struggle. There have been some improvements, incremental, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Given what you guys are up to and maybe the general tenor in the industry, do you feel more optimism now that we are getting our arms around this issue and we're going to actually do something about it?
And Michael, definitely this is an age-old issue, and we are positioning ourselves to really be intentional on making a difference and having some actions to have a positive impact, and not as much talking, but really having some actions to make a difference. And from our leader, Adrelia, is, one of the mantras that he had before us is to ensure that all patients are included and that we leave no patient behind. And through these efforts, that is totally our goal, to ensure that we're inclusive and ensure that no patient will be left out of our clinical trials.
Fantastic. Andy's great. Yeah, we've talked to him on this program before too. He's also another inspiring figure at Merck. You guys are doing some good stuff. I want to thank you all so much for joining us today. This has been our ACRP TV Spotlight on Merck's diversity program. We've been speaking with Adrelia, Cameron, and McKenzie. I want to thank all 3 of you for joining us, and this is very inspiring.
Thank you, Michael, for having us.